Hello everyone, and welcome to lesson 5.8, which is inequalities that describe patterns. This is our last lesson in chapter 5, which has been all on inequalities. Now, this section is on writing inequalities based off of real-world situations. So you are going to be given scenarios that happen in the real world, and you're going to have to express that scenario using an inequality. Now, we've done similar things when we've translated English sentences to math statements, but this is a little different because we really have to think about what the question is saying and what the scenario is to be able to express our answer. I like to solve these problems by trying to find the answers in numbers that work and then using those numbers to write my correct inequality. So let's take a look at our first example here. Let's say we have, you must be 5 feet tall to ride a roller coaster. So to write an inequality, I really need to think about the scenario, right? I've been there. I've been at a theme park and I need to ride a roller coaster, and you always have those signs that say you must be so tall to ride a ride. Well, if the sign says you must be 5 foot tall to ride a roller coaster, then that means I could be 5 feet tall, I could be 6 feet tall, I could be 7 feet tall. Any of those heights work. So as long as I'm 5 foot tall or taller, I can ride the roller coaster. So if I could be 5 foot or more than that, my inequality would say that my height could be bigger than or equal to 5 feet. And there we go. So when I think about my answers and which way my answers are going, that's going to help me to write my inequality. All right, so let's look at a couple examples. We have 3. We're going to start with the first 2 here. My first example is the minimum age limit to be on the team is 10 years old. Okay, so if the minimum age limit to be on the team is 10 years old, then that means to be on the team I could be 10, I could be 11, I could be 12, I could be 13, and so on. Okay? So then that means that since I'm getting older, that the age limit has to be anything greater than or equal to 10. And done. All right, moving on to number 2. It says it costs $5 to play mini golf per person. You budget $50. What inequality shows how many people you can bring? All right, so if it cost $5 to play mini golf per person. Now, we've covered this in previous sections before, but that term per person is going to mean multiplication for us, right? Because $5 per person means 5 for everybody that's there. So we know that we are going to have 5x, right? And it says I budget $50. So if I budget $50, that means I have at most to spend $50. So however many people I can bring, it can't be any more than $50. So it could be $50, I could spend $45, I could spend $40, I could spend $35. I can't spend more than $50 though. So if we notice, my numbers are decreasing, so that means that 5x can be less than or equal to the total money that I have, which is 50. So again, when I think about what my answers are and what I could do, I can find which inequality to use. Is it going down? Is it decreasing like in number 2? Or are those numbers increasing like in number 1? All right, our third and final example of the chapter is twice the value of a number plus 5 is less than 20. Okay, so twice the value we know means 2 times the value of a number, x, plus 5 is less than 20. And that's just a translation of English that we've done before. So we end up having 2 times x plus 5 is less than 20. This one didn't require us to think about any problems or anything. It just required us to translate the English sentences. I think for the scenario questions in this section, we really need to go back to think about what the answers are, right? Does our answers give us more and more each time, or does the answers lead us less and less each time? If we can think about that and which way the numbers are going, we'll get the right inequality every time. I know this section is difficult, so please reach out to me if you have any questions. I want you to be able to do these problems and solve these problems correctly every single time, but sometimes asking questions to get clarification helps. So if those questions should arise, please reach out to me and let me know.